Welcome back. You're watching License to Thrill. Big news, in fact, coming in at the top of the show now in the second segment here, that there is word about Andy Flower, the former Zimbabwean player and current England coach, to become the next coach of the Indian cricket team. Remember, Gary Kirsten has left this job. He wants to go back to his family in South Africa. He's already finished his tenure with the Indian team. He hasn't signed another contract. So the English coach at this stage, Andy Flower, has been offered a new job. The ECB is really worried. They've offered a new 3-year deal to Andy Flower. He's yet to accept it. There's Duncan Fletcher also in the running. Reports suggest that the BCCI has shortlisted a few names, and Andy Flower, for the moment, seems to be the front runner. We've got Nikhil Chopra in the studio with us. Nikhil, your first thoughts, because Gary Kirsten and Andy Flower are in the same mold, if not the same kind of people.
Yeah, they like to work behind the scenes. They never want to come in front of the players. And if for anybody to come and coach Team India, he'll have to work behind the scenes, take probably less credit for the job that he's done, because that's how you look after the Indian team. But to be honest, no disrespect to Gary Kirsten or, for that matter, Andy Flower, I've never been too fond or in one way too happy about foreign coaches. I've always said, these guys would come for what, 50 days, 70 days, 100 days when they're traveling with the team. I'd rather have somebody, or get somebody to work with these guys who's an ex-Indian cricketer, who can go out there and get the same sort of thoughts process filter down the domestic cricket as well. It's fair enough that you're only looking after 15 players, but at the end of the day, if you're playing somebody X, you might as well pay him X plus 2, but ask him to look after the domestic structure, and the same thought process or the coaching methods get filtered down as well. That's how our crop is going to get ready for international cricket.
Absolutely. Very vital point here made by Nikhil Chopra, that it's not just about the 15 at your hand, at disposal to you immediately, because players will change, they'll ask for rotation. It's about the system to be in place as well. But if you were to pick, a few players internationally, coaches rather internationally from India, you think there are a few names which will be doing the rounds, which the BCCI will be, thinking, okay, this is the man?
Well, I guess, I was very happy with Robin Singh and Lal Chandra Rajput last time around when they were there. We won the T20 World Cup with them. We beat England in England after 21 years, but I don't know what the thought process with that would be, with getting the Indian players. You'll have to get somebody that maybe, he's a little above the cricket board, most importantly, and who doesn't get, filtered down, or who's not pressurized with the BCCI politics. Somebody who can speak his own mind, he can hold his own thoughts as well. You need somebody like that.
Absolutely, but this is the whole factor at the end of the day, that what really happens, it has to be about fixing the system as well, and ensuring that it's not just about one man, and it's not about someone who wants to take credit, but someone who can help the team get better as well. For the moment though, we'll leave it at that. Thanks very much, Nikhil Chopra, for joining us here on License to Thrill. Well, it's just about time to wrap up proceedings here, but we also have to tell you about one very special cricketer who will perhaps be in action today. That's Cameron White, who is the vice captain of the Deccan Chargers team. Let's get you his reaction on what he thinks on this encounter, and also perhaps towards the end what he thinks of Sachin Tendulkar.
I think it'll be a pretty tough match. Obviously, the Delhi team won their first game yesterday, so they'll be feeling confident. So yeah, we're expecting a tough match. Yeah, although we've lost a couple of games, I think that we haven't been too far away, especially the first two games. I think 10 or 15 runs or a wicket here or there, and we would have won those games as well. So I think the team is playing very well. But as you know, in 2020, the result can hinge on a ball or a catch or a wicket in a short space of time. So yeah, I don't think we're too far away. I think just probably an all-round performance. I think some games, the bowlers have done really well, and others the batters, I think. I think the players we've got in the team are very good players. We've got good batsmen and good bowlers, so if we can combine it on the day and play well as a team, that we can beat most teams. I guess for Deccan's sake, we hope that Sangha doesn't have to leave or leave so early. We know that he's one of the best players in the world, and as Dan just said before, he's a great captain, and I think the guys are really enjoying his captaincy and his leadership role and style. So hopefully he can play as many games as he can for Deccan, and there's no doubt that he'll win a few games off his own bat, and he's keeping as well. So yeah, hopefully he can stay for pretty much all of the tournament. Would be nice. But the Delhi team is a very strong team. They have some good batsmen in there. A few of which Dan and myself either play with or against back in Australia, so we know a fair bit about them. So yeah, we're going to have plans to combat the whole playing 11, not just the two batters at the top. But there's no doubt that obviously David Warner and Viru are very dangerous players, and we'll have to. That's a big part of the game, isn't it? The first six overs on the Delhi pitch. My pick, I think the two teams that have impressed me so far, I think it's hard to go past Mumbai because they've got such great players. They're probably an obvious choice, but I think Calcutta, KKR, they're looking pretty strong at the moment as well. Throw in Rajasthan, I reckon, once they get their game plan really sorted out, they've got a strong team as well. Look, it's no surprise really that Sachin has scored 100 in T20. He's done everything else and achieved everything else in the game, including obviously a World Cup victory now. So it's just what is left to say about Sachin. He's probably one of the greatest, if not the greatest ever.